Hello, beautiful family. How are you all doing? Thank you so dearly for always supporting me in this particular channel. I really do appreciate. If today the first time you are coming across this channel or you are seeing my face for the first time, I still remain your one and only Agatha Progress, bringing it to you live and direct. Remember, in this channel, we react to all videos, and your opinion is highly needed. So just sit back and enjoy this video, and I will be right back.
Finds out and speaks. You see all of these name callings, all of this. Oh, this one is the saboteur. This one is the person that betrayed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Oh, he's not the one. It is the family. No, no, no. He's the secretary. All of these waves are coming as a result of the wage. It is only the master, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that is capable enough to address it. And believe you me, I, the church, my team, all of you, the whole world, we are all waiting for him to come out. And that is why the Spirit of God gave this 3 months guideline. And he said, we must obey and apply discipline. Follow it as the Spirit of God instructed us, that he may be released within 3 months' time. And believe you me, I repeat, if our people can be disciplined enough, if our people, both pastors, both Biafrans, both lovers of freedom, everyone that this very guideline concerns, if they can obey this instruction, believe you me, in 3 months, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be released, and this wind will be rebuked, and the wave will stop, and the boat, the ship, IPOB, will definitely sail through to the shores of the Gadites. And believe you me, that very liberation that took place in Mark chapter 5, that very demoniac that was delivered after the master and the disciples arrived, and the land of the Gadites were liberated. The thousands of legions, demons inside that man were cast out. When this happens, when the boat sails to the shores of the Gadites, which is IPOB, sailing peacefully, the master is going to complete the very deliverance and liberation of our land, which he has started or embarked the journey upon. Believe you me. And that is why the enemy is fighting Maxwell Ekpa with him. That's why they fight against the church. What do I stand to benefit? By staying at home on Sundays, I don't benefit anything. The only thing I benefit is that I have obeyed the will of God, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is released, and I'm happy, and everybody is happy, and our generation, we are all happy. That is the only thing I stand to benefit.
Wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said before, I am not going to ask you any personal question, and I must stand on it. Now, according to what you have narrated, there is something going on online, especially since you started this fasting and prayer, going almost 3 weeks now. Like as you rightfully said, tomorrow we make it 3 weeks.
Yes.
So please, a lot of people, not a lot of people, because their number has already been, rightfully and highly depleted, because the truth will always prevail.
Exactly.
So how do you feel? Because since you started this journey, going 3 weeks now, few people who are in the dark have been fighting against, they have not, the ones I'm seeing, they haven't actually called your name. They haven't actually spoken directly to you, but they have been fighting against both you and the vision that God gave to you. Some few elements have been fighting against it and against you indirectly. So what message? And remember, these few elements, they also have some few people who listen to them. Like I said before, they are not much. So what message do you have for them?
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Those who are fighting against me, I am not fighting against them. And when you are fighting against an innocent person and he's not fighting back, it means that he has handed over the battle to God. And in this case, I have said it during when I was giving the guideline on the video. Even if you kill a messenger, even if you stand in the way of a messenger, you try to obstruct his movement, you try to oppose him, you try to attack him, it's a waste of time. Because this is, if you want to stop the messenger, go to the sender of the messenger. Very simple logic, very simple spiritual rules that people must understand.
Wow.
I have said it in the opening of my interview, and I've said it on different platforms. I, Maxwell Ekpa, I did not call myself. When God called me, I argued and I said, I will never be a pastor. I'm a child of God. I started serving God from the age of 9, between 9 and 10 years of age. This is my 27 years in the Lord. To come into the full-time ministry, to embark upon this propagation of the gospel of God as a pastor, as a church founder, was not an easy task for me to accept. God prevailed over me. I accepted. I yielded. And since then, whatever he asked me to do is what I do. When it comes to spiritual matters like this, when it comes to issues like this, when it comes to, be it social, be it national, be it generational, it doesn't matter. I try to follow the instructions of the Most High God. Now, I am his messenger. So those who are attacking me, they are doing it in ignorance. No child of God will attack me for this. Those who are fighting against me, who are speaking or broadcasting, or trying to cast aspersions, or trying to discourage men and women who have seen the light, and they are following the light. They are following the direction of the Spirit of God for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and they are attacking me. And they are trying to tell people, no, don't follow him. Who is he himself? How can he be talking like that? Why is he talking like that? Those people are attacking me, attacking this program, attacking the guideline. They are acting in ignorance. On the other hand, if actually they have confirmed, if actually, because some of them are diabolical, some of them are witches, some of them are occultic men and women, they understand. If they have gone to those their mirror, where they watch, if they are going to do their spiritual consultations and inquiries, and they discover that this man is a man of God, this young man is a child of God, what he is doing is being given to him, directed by the Most High God, the Spirit of God, and they know it. For them to continue after knowing this very fact, to attack me, to try to stop this very guideline, it means it's an act of foolishness, because nobody can stop a divine agenda. If they have done their consultations and spiritual inquiries, that is for those of them that goes spiritual or diabolical, and they discover that it is coming from God, just like the magicians of Pharaoh. They told Pharaoh, when they threw the rod on the ground and it turned to serpent, because Moses threw his rod on the ground, it turned to serpent, and then the rod of Moses began to swallow their rods. So and they told Pharaoh, by our magical experience, diabolical understandings, this is the finger of God. This is the finger of God fighting for them. And Pharaoh, because his heart was hardened to continuously subjugate God's people, and you saw how Pharaoh ended. If these people, after discovering, because they must not, if they go to their mirror and ask about Maxwell Ekenenda, we had this very guideline for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they will see it there. Their demons will tell them, their evil spirits will tell them, their witch doctor will tell them that this very directive is being given to this man of God by the Most High himself. And after finding out that very truth and that very fact, and they decide to continue attacking me, it means they are acting in foolishness, in ignorance, because nobody, no power supersedes the power of the Most High God.
Sure.
On the other hand, if these other people who are attacking me, they are not spiritual, they don't go to native doctors, they are not demonic, they are just not like every other normal human being. Maybe out of some psychological, weird reasoning or understanding. Maybe people have convinced them that this man of God is lying, or that the directive is given over these 3 months for the release of Nnamdi Kanu is fake, or is coming from him, not from God. Let such an individual go and watch a guideline with open-mindedness. Also, let such individuals, let such persons who are attacking me in ignorance, go and watch my prophecies. The Bible says, by their fruit you shall know them.
Sure. By
their fruit you shall know them. My fruits are all over there. This is 6 years, more than 6 years I've been doing this. I have borne fruits. I have evidences, testimonies to prove who I am. It's not by coming to introduce myself as a pastor, or a prophet, or a bishop. No. Who are you? By your actions, by their fruit, you will know them. Let them go and watch the videos of my previous prophecies. You will see that 90% of all my prophecies, all have come to accurate manifestation. Anyone that has not manifested is waiting for the appointed time. Just like the book of Habakkuk says in chapter 2. He said that the vision is for an appointed time, and when it is time, it will speak and it will not lie. My prophecies speaks accurately. They don't lie. And after watching those prophecies, after listening to my messages, and you compare the manifestations, and you discover that they are accurate, there is no way they will come back again to attack me, except they have sold their soul to the devil, except the evil spirit and the spirit of falsehood have taken over their conscience, except they are now fully possessed with the spirit of falsehood and enmity against the release of Nnamdi Kanu of Biafra restoration. That is the only reason why, that after watching my videos, watching the prophecies, confirming that they are true and genuine, and then you come back to steal or continue attacking me. Otherwise, nobody, after watching the video, listening to the directive, reading the text of the guideline, the 3 months guideline, no such a person that is well discerning and conscientious, that is a child of God, that is spiritually inclined, that loves freedom, that is in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and that loves the restoration of Biafra, will turn around and attack me. It's not possible. But all the same, I welcome them.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Maxwell. Now, I want you to take a minute and answer this very question I want to throw at you. To the best of my knowledge, I may not be right. To the best of my knowledge, you are not an IPOB registered. You are an IPOB by birth, because the meaning of that very word is indigenous people of Biafra. So you are an indigenous person of Biafra, in as much as anybody that is located or born within the old eastern region of the zoo, permit me to use that word, that is the word we use in the struggle. So permit me to use it in the zoo. Yes. Now, you as a pastor may not be a registered, or should I say, an oath member of an IPOB. You are only an IPOB by birth, of which the blood is there. The blood runs through your vein. Now, there's this latest trend. There's this new trend within IPOB family since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped and rendered to Nigeria.
Yes.
There's a new trend. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was around, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu welcomes everybody. He accepts everybody. He recognizes those that are not even Biafrans.
Biafrans, who are not Igbos. Yes. Like who are not other people.
Thank you. He recognized Simon Ekpa when Simon Ekpa was not even a registered or oath member of IPOB. He recognizes Mayegun. He recognizes a lot of people. So, but since he was kidnapped, there's this latest trend that whatever anybody says, people will come and counter it. They will ask you, how can you give order? You are not DOS. How can you give order? You are not DOS. You are not this. Now, any external body is not recognized, is not welcomed. Whatever you say, you are just they see you as a nobody. So, since you are not, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I believe you as a pastor may not be an oath member of IPOB, and talk less of being a DOS member. So, since you are not in this, you don't fall into this category or the categories, what message are you sending to DOS today? Or not just DOS, because, okay, I'm sorry to use that word because they are irrelevant as of now. Biafran people have left them. So maybe you are not aware of what is going on in the family, but I will tell you because I'm in. So they are completely irrelevant. So, but those misinformed fellows, those few misinformed fellows who are still listening to them, what message do you have for them, given that the directive from God given to you, and you are preaching to Biafrans to do this, and this is going to help to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why those doing whatever they are doing, both the people at the side, the people at Lego team, they will continue doing what they are doing. The other ones who are sitting at home on Mondays and other kind of civil disobedience, they will be doing what they are doing. But this one given to you by the Spirit of God, how do you want to convey this message to those few people fighting against any directive or any suggestion that is not coming from DOS? Thank you.
Thank you very much. This particular question has been answered partly with the last question you asked me about those who are attacking me for these over these 3 months guideline. They are similar, and I answered that very question elaborately, extensively. But I'm going to add to what I said before. I am not here to talk against the IPOB structure or the DOS. I am not here to talk against individuals. As I said, this very guideline, which is the major or the center of this interview, is strictly for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And those who are fighting or who are still opposing me because the directive is not coming from the DOS, as you asked, and all that, I've explained the reasons behind the attacks. I've explained it. I wouldn't want to go back to that because of time. Now, those who are listening to the DOS, who are following the directives of the DOS, the most important thing is this. those directives, those press releases, is it for the release of Nnamdi Kanu or not? Is it because that should be the primary focus of even the DOS? That should be, I have explained, I have taken time to explain in details when I was answering the other question. The primary focus of everyone right now is to release Nnamdi Kanu. And I want to repeat, those who have not watched the guideline should go and watch it after this very interview, because it contained the details. In that very guideline, I made mention that the guideline is not a replacement of the strategies or the activities or the legal engagements and every other activity that has been going on before now, geared towards the release of Nnamdi Kanu from the DSS control in Abuja. I said it in that very guideline. That's why it's important for people to watch that video from the beginning to the end of it. I made it very, very clear that this guideline, 3 months exercise for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, is not a replacement of the legal actions that are going on. It's not a replacement of every other activity that have been going on, whether behind the scenes or in the public knowledge, for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But the Spirit of God saw all of these things going on. The Spirit of the Most High God saw all these activities going on. The Spirit of God knew that the lawyers are going to court. The Spirit of the Elohim understands very well that there is DOS. The Spirit of God understands that there are IPOB principal officers. The Spirit of God understands that there are other pastors, men and women of God, who are also praying for the release of Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra Restoration Project. I could go on and on. The Spirit of God understands very well that the campaign and the discussion for sit-at-home protest and fasting and prayers and all that have been going on for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Yet, he chose to speak to me expressly and gave me this directive for our people. And I want to repeat what I said a couple of minutes ago. How do you know a man of God? How do you understand a directive that is coming from the Most High Elohim? The Bible says, by their fruit you shall know them. In the book of Deuteronomy chapter 12, the Bible says, any prophet that speaks, and it didn't come to manifestation. If a prophet said that this is what God said, and at the end of the day, it didn't come to manifestation, it means that that prophet did not speak from God. On the other hand, when a prophecy has condition, when there is condition attached to a prophecy, if that condition is not followed, that prophecy may not come to manifestation. Just like the Bible says in the book of Ezekiel chapter 37, he said, if I say that a wicked man will die because of his wickedness, and the wicked man repents, then turns away from his sinful ways and wickedness and repents, that very sinner will no longer die, he will live. Except the sinner continues in his sins. A wicked man continues.
So, my wonderful family, now we all know that a lot of people are talking about His Excellency Nnamdi Kanu, not just because he is the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, but because he have the love of his people at heart. A lot of people love him, not because he's rich or he have the money to buy everyone, but people love him because he's a true leader. He is an hero. He sacrificed a lot for me and you. So it is time for us in return to love him. And this is the time, the moment we need to show that love to him. All right, my wonderful family, that brings us to the end of this wonderful update. Do well to like this video, share and subscribe if you haven't. I still remain your one and only AGATHA Progress, bringing it to you live and direct. And if you have been following all this, you have been hearing my voice, you have been watching my video, God bless you. And you haven't subscribed, oh my word, please click on that red subscribe button that says subscribe and turn on the bell icon for more latest updates. See you when I see you. From me to you, I say bye.